Hello, this is a little demo about the Cloud Event Gateway that we developed. The Cloud Event Gateway is based on Kafka internally, therefore we use Strimsy here on Openshift. I have already provisioned the gateway and it has two input sources, so it can receive Cloud Events over HTTP as well over Kafka. Cloud Event is a new specification from the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. It describes an envelope of event types. In this case, I've made something up here, OpenShift provisioning succeeded event type. There's a bunch of metadata like the Cloud Event version, current specification is 01, and then there's the data field, which is optional in the Cloud Event specification. However, I've included here some metadata. In this case, it's a persistent volume claim definition, including its capacity and some more metadata about cluster FS. So we can, in theory, generate these events from different sources, and I have a script prepared that basically submits this specific cloud event file to the HTTP source of the gateway. The gateway also includes options for routing, so we can basically provision gateway. We can basically now provision an HTTP sink, which then asks for some specific data. In this case, I'm only interested in OpenShift provisioning succeeded events, and it asks for an HTTP endpoint where the cloud event are routed to. So OpenShift here with Strimsy, and the gateway is running on my local machine here, and I would like to invoke an HTTP endpoint that is provided on a public cloud, which also is running OpenShift. I have a little Go application running, which is basically some HTTP server that's written in Go. Here's an empty log. I just copied the URL of the exposed endpoint, and there it's post. So I've included the endpoint here for my specific publicly available function. I now do create, and then inside of the project the provisioning of the HTTP sink is going on. Once that is there, we basically have a listener that goes for this specific event type, in this case OpenShift provision succeeded, and is reading them from the internal Kafka topic, and for each event that is arriving it is being posted to a defined HTTP endpoint, in this case my public cloud endpoint here. So what we now see here is my deployment that's ready. It has a name of the event type, OpenShift provision, has some more metadata in there, and I can now show the log for the actual pod that's provided. The implementation here is done with Vertex, so the vertical has been implemented, and let's now just fire that event. This basically creates the provision and event, fires that to the HTTP endpoint from the Cloud Event Gateway, and we see here inside of the gateway I did receive an event, OpenShift provisioning succeeded event, and it's posting to this particular URL that I have configured for this deployment. Now let's take a look at the Go server implementation. This case, it's just doing a raw output. There's no specific handler that does something smart with the data. It's just to show that you can do multi-cloud invocation from your locally provisioned OpenShift to any public HTTP endpoint for routing cloud events. And internally, the HTTP sink is reading from Kafka, a specific topic. OpenShift create provision per event type is created, and this HTTP sink then submits all the event to the public exposed URL of my other container. Thanks for watching.